You spent a lot of your childhood with your grandfather on a ranch here in Texas.
Hmm.
And I heard you had a lot of work to do around the ranch. So what's the coolest job you remember doing there?
Wow, coolest.
Most interesting, most memorable,
Most memorable.
most
I mean,
impactful.
it's a real working ranch. I spent all my summers on that ranch from age 4 to 16, and my grandfather was really taking me those in the summers. In the early summers, he was letting me pretend to help on the ranch because, of course, a 4-year-old is a burden, not a help in real life. He can really just watching me and taking care of me. And he was doing that because my mom was so young. She had me when she was 17. And so he was sort of giving her a break. And my grandmother and my grandfather would take me for these summers. But as I got a little older, I actually was helpful on the ranch and I loved it. I was out there, like, my grandfather had a huge influence on me, huge factor in my life. I did all the jobs you would do on a ranch. I've fixed windmills and laid fences and pipelines and, done all the things that any rancher would do, vaccinated the animals, everything. Um, but we had my grandfather, after my grandmother died, I was about 12 and I kept coming to the ranch. So it was just him and me, just the two of us. And he was completely addicted to the soap opera, The Days of Our Lives.
Mhm.
And we would go back to the ranch house every day around 1 p.m. or so to watch Days of Our Lives, like sands through an hourglass. So are the days of our lives.
Just the image of that, the two of you sitting there watching a soap opera.
He
Two
had
ranchers.
these big, crazy dogs. It was really a very formative experience for me. But the key thing about it for me, the great gift I got from it was that my grandfather was so resourceful. He did everything himself. He made his own veterinary tools. He would make needles to suture the cattle up with. Like, he would find a little piece of wire and heat it up and pound it thin and drill a hole in it and sharpen it. So, you learn different things on a ranch than you would learn, growing up in a city.
So self-reliance.
Yeah. Like figuring out that you can solve problems with enough persistence and ingenuity. And my grandfather bought a D6 bulldozer, which is a big bulldozer, and he got it for like $5,000 because it was completely broken down. It was like a 1955 Caterpillar D6 bulldozer. Knew it would have cost, I don't know, more than $100,000. And we spent an entire summer repairing that bulldozer. And we'd, use mail order to buy big gears for the transmission, and they'd show up, they'd be too heavy to move. So we'd have to build a crane, just that kind of that problem solving mentality. He had it so powerfully, he did all of his own, he didn't pick up the phone and call somebody. He would figure it out on his own. Doing his own veterinary work,
But just the image of the two of you fixing a D6 bulldozer and then going in for a little break at 1 p.m. to watch soap opera.
Laying on the floor. That's how he watched TV.
Yeah.
He was a really, really remarkable guy.
That's how I imagine Clint Eastwood also in all those Westerns when he's not doing what he's doing. He's just watching soap operas. All right.